Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with episode number 5 of Silo, the Janitor's Boy. IMDb
Yes,
gave this a 7.8. That is pretty on point. Man, we were just talking offline, and like I was saying, this show is so interesting, it's so intriguing. There's a lot of
hmm
mystery involved, there's a lot of mysterious stuff involved. You've been alluding to the fact that there could be additional silos. I think I'm starting to believe that.
100%. I
Yeah.
100% think there's more silos. I was gonna say I think they're
Mhm.
talking to each other. I
Okay.
think the silos are
Great.
talking to each other. Yeah.
You know what? And I think that's the case, right? And here's the thing, and the reason why I think, and the reason why I'm starting to like understand your theory is because in this silo, there's 10,112 people living in this
hmm
silo.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that this is the human race. It's only over 10,000, you
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And if there are other silos, maybe these other silos are providing apples or seeds to build, create apple
That
trees
would
or
make sense.
things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What you think about this episode?
I thought it was good. I thought it was solid because the thing is, though, when you have a good show, like
Hmm.
everything's interesting to you. Like I want to see where this is leading because we
Yeah.
had Juliette's doing the murder investigation,
Hmm.
and she's doing there's 3 murder investigations at the same time, and
Well, is it 3 or 4?
yeah, 4. It's a bunch of
Hmm.
them. Everyone's dying
Yeah.
right now,
Right.
and yeah, the whole show was very well done. It was really
Yeah.
well done.
Hmm.
And I really like a lot of characters now. Before, like, you're watching shows and there's like, that person's just there, they're saying lines. I'm very fascinated with Bernard and Walker. I want to know more about these two people.
Hmm.
There's something going on with them. They know more than they're letting on, for sure. Um, we saw the judge finally, and the
Yeah.
judge definitely
Hmm.
knows more stuff because she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this person died, who's part judicial, and we're done with this story. We're good. You don't need
Exactly.
to know
Like,
more."
wow.
Like, what? There's no way. You know more than what's going on here.
Yeah.
And Common 100% knows what's going on there too.
Mhm.
You can tell, like, he's tuned in. And we got the whole point of the janitor's boy. He explained to us that there's a whole different level inside the silo.
Wow.
People who work behind this janitor's door. They have more information than everybody else. And he had the shadow guy who's a failure at every level. Like,
Yes.
why'd you
Doug.
think this job is gonna go, bro? You're supposed to run away and hide from then on out. That's how you do. Like, why'd you
Doug.
think this
Come
was
on.
gonna go? Your sheriff is on to you. They know what you're doing.
What
Why would
what
you
do
think this
you
is gonna go better for you?
what about Sandy? Do you think that there's something interesting about Sandy because she's going to like
Yes,
the 101st level now? What do you think is going on with that?
I I misjudged her. I think there's more. She's got something compelling about her story,
Hmm.
and she seems to understand how this thing works. And she's like, I don't like it up here at the top. I need to go back to the middle.
Right.
She wants to be middle class again.
Hmm.
This caste
Where they
system.
eat
She
children.
can't do it. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
She go back to lower levels. She's like,
Right.
I don't like the. And the other thing she said is that everyone's listening to you. So that the janitor's room, they're doing something in that room. And we talked about this offline, but I believe they have either cameras or there's microphones in everybody's house, and they're listening to everything, recording it.
Wow.
I think you're
Wow.
recording everything.
Wow.
There's
So
something
the
to it.
episode started where Marnes, who was killed by this guy Doug,
Yeah, he's got a head bashed in. He didn't even use a gun. He just bashed his head
man,
with it.
that
That's
guy
wild.
he has a headache now, dude. Permanent headache, for real.
Bro,
He
you
better
killing me
like
right
listen.
now.
Hopefully he doesn't have an HMO plan because if he does, he's gonna have to go to his primary specialist
Bro,
first, then go see a
that's a
brain
wrap.
doctor. It's not gonna be great, for real. But he's done. So we
Yeah,
now we know that Mayor Johns is dead. We know that
yeah.
Marnes is
Murdered.
dead.
Not even dead. She's
Murdered. Yeah,
murdered.
exactly.
Yeah.
We also know that is the Kennedy guy was did he no, he
No,
wasn't
no,
like
they
Doug,
hit him. She hit
yeah,
him so he wouldn't be the scapegoat.
right, because
It was
that
the
was a
other
setup.
dude.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Doug. Doug.
Doug
The
took a
shadow.
L.
Doug killed Marnes and then Common killed Dude, he
Yeah,
just pushed
Doug.
them off. Wow. Just like, holy crap, this is crazy. And
And nobody this is the crazy part, because the thing is, though, for her
mhm,
perspective, because she was down at the bottom this whole time
yeah.
before,
Mhm,
I'm sure she seen more bodies just drop out of the sky. Because this seems very common for judicial to get rid of somebody like this.
yeah.
No questions asked. It's a messy way because people at the bottom got to pick up the bodies and
Yeah.
report what the hell's going on here.
Mhm,
So yeah, I think they do down there at the bottom in the mechanics thing. They had to see a bunch of bodies drop from the sky, and they don't ask any questions. They just like, oh, it's the way it is up top. Stay down here. It's
it's
safer down
crazy.
here.
What do you think? What's the idea behind not having any elevators and
That's
like
a good question.
magnification? What is the idea behind that?
Um, I think it helps with the caste system because people at the bottom feel like it's too difficult to get to the top, and it's impossible to get up there. I think that
Well,
helps keep people in their
mhm,
place mentally.
yeah.
It's dumb physically, but
Hmm.
mentally it makes people stay in their place. The magnification thing, we were talking about this offline, but
Hmm.
I think it helps keep technology at a certain level.
Right.
If
Hmm.
you don't, you get circuits can't get smaller if you can't see them,
Hmm.
physically see them. I think it keeps because we don't. Again, we talked about this before, but like we have no idea what year it is.
Yeah.
It's got to be like
At all.
20. It's got to be like 2,300 or something. It's got to
Hmm.
be. It's something. It's way in the future.
You
It
wait
is.
a minute. You think it's way in the future? See, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I think
way
it's
in the
so. I
future.
think it's
Really?
way in the future. Yeah,
Okay.
because we know for a fact that this silo, this current generation of silo, is 150 years. We know
Right.
that.
At least. At least.
At the minimum 150 years.
Right.
So that because they have computers, it has to be from the 60s when this thing got started. So the
Yeah.
question mark is how long did this thing go before the rebellion? And then we got 150 years tacked on top of that. That's why
Hmm.
I say two 2,300, 2,250. It's a bit in the future. And it's definitely because of nuclear war, some kind of fallout.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And that brings
yeah,
me back to, the theory you have that there are more silos. And also, like within these silos, there are 10,000 people, at
yeah.
least 10,000 people. And we were talking offline about this too. Like,
Mhm.
because once they said we can't have elevators, like just forget the magnification, but elevators. So
Yeah.
immediately, what I thought about is this silo was created, one, to create a caste system.
Mhm.
At the down deep, you have just the low level, people. The
Mhm.
mids, you have the mids, just the middle class, let's just say that. And then the upper, you have just the elites, right? And so,
Yeah.
like you said, if you have
It's
all
life.
these people down in the down deep, no one wants to go up like 300 levels just to go up to the upper level. So they stay where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Wow. Hmm.
hassle. It's definitely a hassle. But I think
Right.
too, when the silos were created, obviously mechanics would go down to the mechanic area, and people the different levels would work in their level. And
Hmm.
then after time, you just kind of get born into it. There's no
Yeah.
point to move around. Like I
Wow.
think Juliette was probably supposed to be a doctor because her dad's a doctor.
That's true.
Like she would
Hmm.
have been like you would have kept that system going.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, the other thing that's interesting too about technology is they're trying to stop technology from growing, which I think could be because of robots. I know it's a crazy theory right now.
Hmm.
This show reminds me so much of the Matrix, and
Oh,
they
really?
had remember
Why? How
Zion.
so? Hmm.
Remember Zion?
Hmm.
They had to go like they had this like the civilization that was like deep underground
Yeah.
because like the upper above was supposed to be destroyed from whatever war, whatever
Right. Right.
robots,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So whatever the war was that caused people to build the silos, either it was robots or it's like a world war and it's like
Mm.
nuclear missiles or whatever. One or the other. Because the reason why I think robots is because they're doing a deliberate thing to keep technology old, not advanced technology.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
there's a reason for that. It's like Dune.
Hmm.
They're trying to keep technology dumb on purpose. And
Okay.
there's a reason for that. They got rid of all the things from the past,
Hmm.
like your watches, anything like like tablets,
Relics.
anything
Nothing. Yeah.
relics. Not
Hmm.
allowed to have anything relics, and they keep everything dumb and just maintain the dumb level of technology. There's
Mhm.
a reason for that. There has to be a reason.
Yeah.
And
It, it
robots. That's the only thing I can think of. Robots.
it's interesting that, they want to get rid of technology, relics, things of that nature. But,
Yeah.
we still have to have alcohol, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We still got to
You need
have beer and
vices.
wine, and
You need
vices, you
vices.
know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
all that, it's very
Hmm.
crazy. So, when you really look at this show, this episode in particular, right? It
Hmm.
it didn't do much, right? But the show is so compelling. The show, the
Yeah.
mystery around the show is just it's so interesting. I mean,
It's
I'm
the
glued
character
to it.
building. This show is
Yeah.
character building, 100%. Yeah.
hmm So, okay, what do you think about Billings? Because Billings seemed like he's just completely incompetent. He just doesn't know what's going on.
I I think he's a stick. I don't think he can be trusted. Because there's a reason why Judicial wanted him there in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he's just a yes man,
Yeah.
100% yes man.
hmm
So either he's gonna sell everybody out, or he was just supposed to take orders and just do whatever Judicial says.
Yeah.
And if they chose him like that, why on earth would you trust this guy? He seems like he can't be trusted. I don't know.
Right.
I wouldn't. He looks like he's shady. There's something about him I don't know.
You know, I got that a little bit, but I also what the other thing I got from him is like he may not be happy with what Judicial is doing. That's what I got from him a
Yeah.
little bit
Oh,
though,
that's true
right?
too. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, so could he possibly be a friend of like, Jules or, Bernard or something like that? Like you said, Bernard looks like he's starting to understand,
Hmm.
what the judicial is doing and how bad that could be for like the population in the silo, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have that. And then you have Sandy, who's like, I'm going down, to the 101st level because it's weird up here.
Hmm.
And Jules going back down to Walker. And what was it that she read on that machine, on that camcorder with the magnifying glass? What was that anyway?
I don't know. It looks like plans. It looked like a map. I don't know. I couldn't tell. And does the camcorder work? Like, did they get power to it? Like, I thought
Well,
the
well, last week when she plugged it up, it lit up and everything. Remember?
yeah, yeah. So I'm saying I thought they got
hmm
power on it. But like, what's on that camcorder? Because you
We're
said the
gonna
lens
find
is
out.
super powerful. Is more powerful than the stuff they're using on the upper level. Whatever she said.
hmm
That's very interesting. I think that there's a game breaking level of something interesting on that camcorder they're
hmm
about to discover. It
Let me
changes
ask you.
everything about the silo.
Let me ask you this: the most interesting part of this episode was this for me. When
Uh,
Jules went into the cafeteria and then she started talking to the guy who just draws, and he was talking about like the view he
mhm.
saw from the window, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He started to explain stuff and he said, you know what? It's almost like the stars are rotating in this pattern, this same pattern every night, every night.
Hmm.
He said, like,
Yeah,
there's a W shape, the whole nine. When he said that, I was like, you know what? The
that seems fake.
stars could be a slideshow, right?
Yeah, yeah. It seems fake.
Right.
That's what it
And
is.
so I know like Jules and everyone else is doing their thing, but for
Hmm.
me, this episode, like he said something really interesting, like about this view, it's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is it?
Well, because the other thing is the stars should be in different positions depending on what time of year. So,
Right. But
so
he
that
said it's
that
the
seems like it's
same
computer
thing.
generated.
Yeah, he said, yeah, exactly. He said this joint just rotates and it's the same
Hmm.
thing all the time. And he had it, he
Yeah.
drew it out, and I was just like, okay, wow, we're about to find out a lot. There's so many
Yeah, yeah.
baskets, so many balls in here. You have the judicial, you have like, what's
Hmm.
behind the what's outside, what's
Hmm.
down below and a down deep because you have all this
That's a good
water. Where
question.
does it go?
Maybe the silo was bigger. They cut it in half. They're like, nope, we can't go any more lower. It's too many
Mhm.
levels.
Your theory,
There's a lot of stuff.
I keep thinking about your theory, like you think there are other
Yeah.
silos. I keep thinking about that because
Mhm.
when you're at the bottom of the silo, the down deep, and you have all of that water, I keep saying that water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you think, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, but why do you think there are additional silos?
it would make more sense that they wouldn't just build one to save,
Right.
10,000 people. It would
Only.
make more sense that they built like 15, 20 silos in this
Mm-hmm.
part of America, and in another part of America they built their own silos.
Mm-hmm.
That would make more sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. There's a good possibility that there's a New York silo system, and there's a California silo system,
Mm-hmm.
and the DC silo system, whatever. That makes more sense.
Right.
So I think any other countries too would have this kind of system too. So there's a possibility there's a Russia silo system and a China silo system too. That makes more sense. If there's a world war or whatever, they would build this kind of stuff as a
Yeah.
deter not deterrent, but like as a backup to
Mm-hmm.
save people just in case things got out of
Right.
control.
Exactly. It's so interesting because we're talking about, the silo and like what's popping off in the silo. But then you
Mhm.
have this other mystery, like just in terms of like what's outside. How do people survive?
Yeah,
Can they survive? Is the air
I
poisonous? What's going on?
yeah. I think nuclear fallout. That's the best case scenario for what's going on.
But we
Nuclear
do
fallout.
see, but you were able to Holston was able to see like green grass and everything.
Yeah. Because like think about it too. After a certain time, things will rebuild and they would
Yeah.
be better. It's like
Hmm.
the remember the show was the 100
The
where
100. But
these
that
kids
was
are in space and they got
right. But that was like 40, 50, 100 years until everything
yeah,
started
that wasn't
growing
even that
back
long.
up. Right.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
I'm saying we have no idea how long these guys have been in the silo, so they could be
True.
in there
Hmm.
for hundreds of years. But
Yeah.
I think that the grass being good, but like think about like the fallout that lasts thousands of years before that thing is even you're good to even go in that area again, depending
Yeah,
what
that's
kind of
true.
bomb it was or whatever.
Hmm.
Like that, the fallout's gonna last for a long, long time. There's nothing you can
Yeah.
do about that. So that thousands of years, maybe hundreds of years, maybe depending on what they bombed it with. But like,
Yeah.
why did they bomb it is the bigger question that I have, and I don't think we're ever gonna get the answer for that. But
Not yet anyway.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But I think there's a good reason why, and I'm going back to robots. I think robots.
Robots. Okay. I'm gonna think about that because I'm like, okay, because we don't see anything like that inside the silo, right? At all.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
there's a reason why they're keeping technology dumb.
Hmm.
They're keeping technology. It reminds me of Dune so much. Dune was like, "Hey, there's no computers ever. Screw computers. We're never going back to that." Because
Hmm.
they had the basically robots. They call it Butlerian Jihad, where the robots took over all the galaxy, and they're like, "Hell no, we're never doing this again." They got rid of
Exactly.
every robot, all computers, and they said people are going to be thinking computers. And instantly, I look at this like, there's a reason why they're keeping technology dumb. They have the most basic computer system. They even have LCD screens. It's the CRT monitors,
They got like
right?
the bubble back machines, for
Yeah,
real.
they're
Hmm.
the OG stuff with like three colors. Like there's a reason for this.
That's how you oppress the population. You
Yeah,
take things away from them. You take technology away from them. You take,
yeah, yeah.
just like access away from them. Everything, you
Elevators.
you
There's
you
a
keep
reason.
exactly. You keep them in a dark, basically. Just like this stuff doesn't
Hmm.
exist. Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but this is like I said, man. This show here, it's a really great show.
Hmm.
And okay, let's just get right into the rating. Episode number 5, the janitor's boys or the janitor's boy. What are you
Yeah.
rating this episode, man?
8.5 is a solid episode for me.
Yeah,
It's just forget about the silo. Just doing the murder mystery thing was good. Like
yeah,
I'm happy with
hmm,
that.
yeah,
This is a good show. This is a solid show. I can't stress this enough. I I like this show on the level of Expanse. Like it's a good writing is good. The acting is solid.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody it's a compelling
Hmm.
story. I want to see more. I'm engulfed every time I watch the show. I'm engulfed in the world, even though it's
Hmm.
very dark and blurry. It's hard to see.
Hmm.
You got to watch it with our lights off. But I'm
Exactly. Hmm.
engulfed in this world. I'm interested. I want to
Yeah,
know more. Like interesting. I was like, well, there's books. I want to know about the books. Like this is interesting to me. I'm
yeah.
all in, 100%.
I'm all in, man. I hope I'm also going to give it an 8.5. That's a very good point because, 5 episodes in, I just kept trying to compare it to The Expanse, just in terms of like how everything was built up, the production,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
what it looks like, the stylizing of the,
it
production and
looks lived
everything.
in.
It
There's like
looks
it
lived
looks
in,
like there's dust everywhere. Like real people live
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know how they are, doing the camera action, just showing like the silo and people running up and down the stairs. But
It's only 2
this is
levels. It's good though.
basically, maybe one, and they just copy
Yeah.
paste it, for real. But
Yeah.
this is a really good show, man. I love it when a new show or a new movie comes on and
Uh-huh.
it's just really good because lately we've been getting a lot of trash, so this is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Apple knocked this out the park. This is a great
Yeah.
show. People
And
need to watch
again,
it.
in July, Foundation is coming back.
There's so much stuff coming up,
Come
like, in the
on,
future, man.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Alrighty. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.